I really like this book. I gave it 5 stars. I have to admit, I've liked everything I've read this month, but I really like this book. I'm a big fan of superheroes and Avengers and all that other stuff. So that was really interesting to see a world where the heroes weren't the superheroes, they were the humans, and the villain was the superheroes, and they were the epics in this. I not only like the story and how it was told, but I like the perspective. I just like the book in general. It was a really, really good book, and it was really, really fast paced. I am someone that likes short chapters. I feel like it feels like I'm getting through the book quicker, so I like that. So the chapters were really short. It was compelling. It was such like I've never read a book really told in this way before, but it made me feel like I was learning about the world from an expert. And like that's who David was to me. So like I like trust everything that he said. And when he felt lost, I felt really confused. I thought that that was really interesting, but I liked how he like spent his whole life trying finding for a way to kill Steelheart because Steelheart kills his father and he wanted to put him down, and but it didn't just stay a vengeance story. He wasn't just doing this for vengeance, and it changed for him. And I think that that was something that in the book that I was like I really spoke to me because it wasn't just a story about vengeance. It was a story about making the world a better place, and that was David's goal in the end, to make the world a better place. So to me, I was really like happy to see that because I wanted that. Like I wanted it to be happy. At least that's my opinion. But yeah, I liked the story. It was fast moving. It was fast. I really liked David. I liked his quirky personality and how he kind of thought he had feelings for Megan. I didn't like the insta love because I think that that's kind of where it was going, but I think I understood why in the end it became insta love because Megan really didn't have any feelings for anybody because of what happened to her. But I like David. I like the professor. I like the reveal about him. I thought that was interesting and surprising. I really liked all the other Reckoners. I think that they worked together as like a group, so I think having them together really, really made the team feel really strong. I liked how David's plan was not just taken and ran with. I like how they worked it and they analyzed and they talked about it. I think for me that was the most interesting part because I really learned a lot about the world. This book had very, very strong and detailed world building. The one thing that I really didn't learn as much about that I would have liked was what caused the epics to create, what's caused calamity. I'm hoping in the next 2 books we get a little bit more information about that and it's not just says, oh, we don't know why. I want to know why. I want to know what caused it. I think for me, I'm always a cause and effect person. I have the effect, but I want to know what caused it. So hopefully we'll be able to get that in a few more books. But I like that. I like the interactions between the epics. I like the final confrontation. I liked I liked everything. I thought it was a very, very fast-paced, fast-moving story. Um I did like I thought the Steelheart's weakness was really interesting, and I thought that it was perfect. I thought that that was the perfect way to end that book because it was great. It was creative, it was different, and I liked seeing all the other epics and learning how specific weaknesses could be, what could be an epic, what could be a weakness for an epic, and what can't be. But I like seeing the development of the plot and development. I liked how it all was encompassed in one book. I didn't expect that necessarily. In World of Trilogies and 5 books, normally they like expand it all out. So I was surprised to see that the Steelheart story was kind of wrapped up in a sense in one book. But I'm curious to see what happens next in this world. What happens next now that 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 part is over. So I might title this a spoiler review, I think. So I'll put spoiler on top of this at the end. But yeah, I really like that. So hopefully we'll be able to see more of it. I know that there's a novella out called Mitosis, and that's out now. And that Firefight comes out the beginning of January. So I'm going to try to read those soon. I have a ton of stuff to read, but I really, really want to get to these. So they'll be on my list for January. If not January, then February. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. If you guys read this book so far, comment below. Let me know what you think. I have a few books by Brandon Sanderson on my shelf, so hopefully I'll get to read them too as well in 2015. If not, definitely soon. I'm going to read them this year. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a lovely day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Hi guys! I'm here today to talk about and give a video review for my True Love Gave to Me 12 Holiday Stories that was edited by Stephanie Perkins. Overall, I really, really love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I thought all the stories were interesting, unique, and different. They all address different aspects of young adult literature, and it also gives you a chance, if you haven't read all the authors, to really get a feel of their writing style. For me, I was able to read some tried and true favorites like Rainbow Rowell, Kirsten White, Stephanie Perkins, but also experience some new authors like Matt Lizapena, Gail Foreman. It was really good, and I really, really love the anthology. If you are in the mood for holidays romances or just romances in general, highly recommend you read it. It's still the holidays. Go pick it up, and you will get 12 great stories that will get you in mood for the holidays, or if not, just joy and cheer, and just, if not anything, romance. Because I'm not a big romantic person, but I really, 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 really loved all the stories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the title of each story and a little bit of my mini review and also what I rated it, even though I gave the whole book a 5. The first story in the anthology was Midnights by Rainbow Rowell. I love this. I gave it 5 stars. It was such a good way to start off it. I love the characters. It was really, really quick, really, really plot driven, but it also gave me a lot of information. And by the end, I was begging for the romance. Begging. So yeah, I really, really liked it. This was probably one of my favorites. The next story was The Lady and the Fox by Kelly Link. Um, I think there was 3 fantasy stories in this, and I think that I've had the same problem with all of them. It takes takes me a long time to um learn about fantasy stories, so I think short stories may not be the best element for me to learn about them because they were so short. So of course the time was condensed, so the world building couldn't have been as strong. But I gave this one 3 stars. This is probably the one I like the least. I was really confused about the world building. I didn't know if we were in the past, if we were in the present. I was really confused. I thought we were in the past, and then she mentioned like Ellen DeGeneres, and then I was really, really lost. So I was a little bit confused about where she was hoping to put this book, and then the character who she wound up falling in love with was out of. It was a really confusing, but it was interesting. It just wasn't my favorite. And then the next one was Angels in the Snow by Matty LaPena. I really, really like this one. And I found out later that the character in this Shy actually has his own book stories called The Living. So I got that for the holidays, so I'm really excited to read that soon. But it was really, really cute. And it did deal with the concept of cheating a little bit, and I was okay with how it happened. But it was a New York Christmas, and they were trapped in a snowstorm, and they were in the same building, and I thought that was really interesting. And especially coming from how different their personalities were, I was really like the romance that developed between them. So I gave Angels in the Snow a 5 stars. The next one, Polaris is Where You'll Find Me by Jenny Han. I thought this was so cute. I gave it 5 stars. It was about a human girl that wound up growing up in Santa's Christmas village, surrounded by elves, and how she wasn't an elf, and the loneliness and the feeling, and what happens when you don't feel like you're at home. I really, 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 really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. It was really, really cute, and it was an unexpected twist on a romance that I didn't really expect coming. This is one of those stories where, like, I want a sequel to it. Like, a lot of these stories, I want to know more about these characters, so I don't know if that will ever happen, but this was definitely one of those where I'm like, I need to know what happens next. And then there was no next, so it really built up my anticipation, and then I got nothing. Hey, Stephanie Perkins, idea. Why don't you do this every year? Just an idea, and then have the stories be a continuation. Just an idea for me. The next story in the anthology was It's a Yuletide Miracle, Charlie Brown by Stephanie Perkins. This one I gave 5 stars. I absolutely adore this story. I was so, so happy with this story, and it made my heart hurt and made me so emotional when I was reading it, but I loved it. Oh my god. It, like, made buying the anthology totally worth it. This is probably one of my favorites. I love the characters. I love the development. I love the plot. I love the premise. Everything was so good. So I highly recommend you read It's a Yuletide Miracle, Charlie Brown by Stephanie Perkins. It was great. 7 stars, amazing. The next story I read was Your Temporary Santa by David Levithan. I love this. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really cute, and I thought that it was a really interesting way to look at how some families deal with the holidays and how, you know, things don't always go according to plan, and that could be hard on children. And I thought that that was really interesting. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. This is the first thing I've ever read by David Levithan, but I hope to read more in the future. And the next one I read was Crumple Soft by Holly Black. This is another one of the books that I wanted a little bit more world building to make it complete. So I gave it 4 stars because it was a fantastical story. But other than that, I really liked it. I liked the ending. I liked the romance it developed. It was a really, really cute story. Just would have liked a little bit more world building. And the next story in this anthology is What the Hell Have You Done, Sophia Roth? I really like this one. Again, it was really interesting and unique and different, and it was people coming from different worlds and interacting and seeing how that caused the holidays, and it was cute. It was a cute romantic story that I read, I think, in one sitting. Really, really adorable, and hopefully I'll be able to read more by Gail Forman. I've read a few of her other books. There's a few more of hers on my list. But this is again is one of the stories that I want a sequel. I want to know what happens next to these characters. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that, but this is definitely one that I really wanted more information about the characters. The next one in the anthology is Beer Buckets and Baby Jesus by Myra McIntyre. Again, I loved it. 5 stars. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved the Christmas pageant focus. It was cute, and it made my heart happy, and it made me smile, and it made me tear up a little bit at the end. And this is again is one of those stories where I want more information. I want to know what happens next. But it was very, very good. And the next story was Welcome to Christmas Kie by Kirsten White. I like this too. I gave it 4 stars. It was a little bit slow in the beginning and a little bit slow at the end, but it really was cute, and it just made me happy. It just made me happy. So, and I haven't read anything by Kirsten White before, so I'm really excited to maybe read more about her in the future. And the next one is Star of Bethlehem by Allie Carter. I have never read anything by Allie Carter, but I really want to read her All Fall Down series and her Heist Society series. But this story was cute, and it showed me that your family doesn't have to be your blood. In this story, that's really what this shows. Your family doesn't have to be blood, and I thought that was a really interesting way to say that around Christmas time. Very good, gave it 5 stars. The last book in this anthology was The Girl Who Woke the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This was probably the story that lacked world building so much, but I liked it so much, so I just wanted a little bit more world building, just a little bit more. But I'm really excited to read her Dreams of God and Monster series and read more by Laini Taylor. But yeah, I absolutely love this anthology. If you are in the mood to read some romantic stories that have a holiday theme focus, run out and get it. You will not regret it. I read it right after I got it, and I was so happy that I did. I hope you guys are having a good day and have a very nice holiday. Bye, everyone. Bye. Oh, also, don't forget, my Twitter's below, my Goodreads, and my book blog is all below. Take a look, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.